Drawing and making stories can be one of the most difficult things ever. By blending the written word and symbolism, we must study the past in order to teach the future. Welcome to Farlook Studios. My name is Ray Raynette, and I'm a self-published illustrator and writer for my own comic book magazine titled Junket: Hidden Worlds Revealed. On this channel, we look back at different forms of art and see what it is we can take away from it in order to apply it to our day-to-day lives. As a practicing artist, I always look back to see what it is I could reference or find inspiration from and apply it into my modern-day work. If you guys like the content I make here, don't forget to hit a thumbs up, subscribe, and put notifications on to stay updated. Now, on to the video. Today, we'll be rediscovering the wisdom of ancient art and literature in the modern world. In this contemporary world, brimming with technological advancements and innovations, there exists a profound irony. As we progress further into an age of digital marvels and scientific breakthroughs, we're simultaneously distancing ourselves from the ancient wisdom embedded in classical art and literature. In this video, I'll seek to explore the juxtaposition between our advanced technological era and the spiritual detachment it has brought. I've began to believe in this theory, in which the further back we go in art, the better it was. And I'm talking back all the way to caveman times, because one of the greatest examples is Picasso. We all know his name, he was popular, but the single fact is, art echoes our time in the present and our surroundings, but it will always echo our origins. And the closer we get to our origins within our works, whether written or illustrated or painted, the closer we get to those origins and represent them in a truthful manner, the better and more profound the work truly comes across. Picasso had to deconstruct everything that he had learned from the classical teachings. In all respects, he was basically a classical painter of the Renaissance. He studied and was taught in that way. But in his later years, he realized that to create something that transcends time, we must be childlike again. In fact, this idea of becoming more childlike is transcended throughout many different cultures and many different philosophies. Even as far as going into the Bible itself, where it says, "Truly, I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." And what this basically means is that Jesus is teaching to have faith like a child. We have to put aside our own will and our own pride and ego, which all it does is self-sabotage, and all we have to do is trust that the world, that Christ, and the universe is aware and is loving us, and is teaching us and guiding us, only if we let it. The further back we go in art, the better everything was. Not only in terms of paintings like Picasso, which would channel and repurpose the imagery of the bull within cave paintings and murals, but we have to realize that even the architecture of the past was far more advanced than anything we could even comprehend or imagine today. Why was it that seemingly normal everyday people would be able to build pyramids, monuments, sculptures, and nowadays we could barely even get out of bed to do anything? We've become more comfortable, more hesitant, and we look back at these things as though that, it was something beyond our capability, but they literally knew less, they literally understood less, and somehow were more advanced. Why is it that the further back we go, the art is more potent, the literature is more profound, and is even educating us till this day? The ancient civilizations accomplished feats that continue to baffle modern engineers and architects. The constructions of the pyramids in Egypt, the intricate statues of Greece, and the sophisticated architecture of Rome are just a few examples of the seemingly impossible endeavors achieved by common people in the past. These marvels were not the result of advanced technology, but of sheer human ingenuity, determination, and a deep connection to their cultural and spiritual beliefs. These structures were often created with a purpose beyond mere functionality. They were built to honor gods, commemorate significant events, and serve as lasting legacies of their civilizations. In stark contrast, the modern world, despite its technological prowess, often finds itself spiritually detached. The grandeur of a Michelangelo, who at the tender age of 24 carved the iconic statue of David, or a Leonardo da Vinci, who in his later years pioneered groundbreaking studies and philosophies that seemed unfathomable today. These men were not just artists and thinkers, they were vessels of a wisdom that transcended their immediate reality, drawing from the depths of history, philosophy, and spirituality. Today, such achievements are seen as novelties rather than the norm, indicative of a society that has lost its touch with the profound wisdom of the past. Honestly, it seems like our contemporary society often views the elderly as burdens rather than reservoirs of knowledge and experience. They've lived the life that you're about to go experience. Why do we treat them as though they're beneath us? This is a stark deviation from ancient times, when elder statesmen and philosophers like Socrates and Plato were revered for their insights and contributions to societal advancements. These individuals in their advanced years offered perspectives that propelled humanity forward. Their teachings were not merely intellectual exercises, but profound observations on the human conditions, ethics, and the very fabric of society. They laid the groundwork for what modern universities and modern governments look like, and they were doing it casually. What's happened to us? Where have we diverged and steered off on the wrong path? How did we lose all these things that seem so naturally God-given? Why have humans become less than God when we were made in His image? The very thing that separates us from animals is not only that we know how to communicate, but it's that we have consciousness and that we can create something that never existed before, just as the Lord has made the very world that surrounds us. To return to the greatness that we have seemingly lost, it is imperative that we reconnect with the lessons embedded in ancient text and wisdom. These ancient writings are not mere fairy tales or prophecies, but exemplars of how to live our lives and carry ourselves with dignity and purpose. The works of Homer, for instance, transcend time and space. Within the pages of the Iliad, Homer does not just recount a war larger than life, but he delves into the introspective war within ourselves, our legacies, and the human condition. Homer would later write the Odyssey, which goes beyond and continues the journey of Odysseus attempting to return back home after the long war. It symbolizes the journey of life within the downfalls, difficulties, and ultimate glory of returning to whatever it is that we call home. Other great writers such as Dante, Milton, Sophocles, and Shakespeare have similarly created works that are the foundations of knowledge, continually offering new insights with each reading. Dante's Divine Comedy, for example, is not just a tale of a journey through hell, purgatory, and heaven. It is also a profound exploration of human nature, morality, and our soul's quest for salvation. In John Milton's Paradise Lost, it delves into the complexities of good, evil, free will, and redemption, offering timeless lessons on the human experience. And this is only further emphasized with Paradise Regained, where the devil speaks to God in the desert. One of the most profound lines from Dante's Divine Comedy is the idea of how we can get to the promised land. It is not only a beautiful quote, but it is literally a roadmap to what it is everyone has to go through. The quote goes, "The path to paradise begins in hell." Wow. That's one of the most profound statements ever said, because it's true. We have to traverse through the dark places. We have to go through the valley of death in order to find our way back home to the kingdom. One of the greatest literary masterpieces and one of the oldest collection of stories ever told is found within the Bible. It can be seen in three different ways. We could interpret the Bible as history, as mythology, and in practicality. We could always go and dig deeper into each one of these things, because ultimately it is a collection of stories. It is a library of books, but throughout it, it weaves one continuous narrative, one of the greatest literary figures ever written about, in the Son of God, Jesus Christ, who embodies every single myth combined into one being. That's fascinating. We have multiple sacrifices combined into one. We have the sacrifice of Prometheus, the Greek deity who stole the fires from heaven on Mount Olympus and gave it as a gift to us here on earth. And he gave life to the humans who were unworthy. But he was punished for his actions and brought up to die forever atop a mountain, bleeding from his sides, pecked by vultures, and eventually saved by the Son of God, half man, half mortal, Hercules, who freed him and gave him strength. Christ embodies these characters mixed into one narrative. People are quick to disregard these stories as just nonsense and old-timey fairy tales, but there is so much more to them than we realize. Christ lives, regardless of it being historical, regardless of it being literal. Christ still lives till this day. We still speak about him, we still understand his teachings, and we still try to unravel all of the mysteries that he spoke. Christ lives within us through our actions, through our patterns and what we say and how we help the world around us. It's honestly like the cartoon image of having an angel and a devil on your shoulder. They're both there, they're present within us, both evil and good, the devil and God. But since we were given free will, it is up to us to help the world become better. I believe that just as the birds sing and the dogs bark, humans tell stories. This is our language, this is our way of conveying ideas. This is our way of communicating. And who better than the main character of the world himself, Christ, to be an example and the blueprint to how we should carry ourselves. He himself spoke in parables and in riddles and in stories and examples. Honestly, the Bible has become a cornerstone of Western civilization, providing the solid groundwork and blueprint for living a fearless, hopeful, just, and courageous life. Its teachings, stories, and parables have shaped cultures, laws, and moral codes, offering guidance on how to live in harmony with others and maintain one's own spiritual well-being. As we forge ahead in an age of unprecedented technological advancements, it is crucial that we do not forget the ancient wisdom found in classical art and literature. By reconnecting with the timeless teachings of the past, we can find the balance between technological progress and spiritual fulfillment. These ancient texts and artworks are not just relics of a bygone era. They are living, breathing testaments to the enduring human spirit and the wisdom that has guided humanity for a millennia. Let us embrace the lessons they offer and carry them forward, ensuring that the greatness of the past is not lost, but integrated into the fabric of our modern lives. By revisiting the works of great writers and artists like Homer, Dante, Milton, and the profound teachings of the Bible, we can glean insights that will help us navigate the complexities of the modern world. These works are more than just historical artifacts. They are blueprints for living a life of purpose, integrity, and spiritual depth. It is through this return to ancient wisdom that we can hope to achieve a harmonious balance between technological advancement and spiritual fulfillment, ensuring that the legacy of greatness continues to inspire and guide future generations. I hope that this message and this video reaches you well, whether you're still in purgatory, in hell, but on your way to paradise. I hope that throughout your own odyssey, you're able to remember that you are more than you were told. We are all made in the glory and in the image of a divine creator, and that's why we ourselves create as well. As a new year is coming right around the corner, time flies. What better way to realize and reshape your mind than to reconnect with that which made the world into what it is today? Analyze it for yourself, objectively. Don't fall into it as a trap. Don't believe what everyone in the world tells you about it. Make your own opinion. Stop thinking that you know better. Stop assuming what's in the book and actually try to read it for yourself. Diversify your palette and put the screen away. Shut the screen off, turn the phone off, and open one of these books, because you might just find the inspiration that you've been looking for all along. You have to remember that you're not the only one going on this journey, and you have to remember that you're not going on this journey alone. Christ is with you, and He's willing to go with you to the bitter end. It may not be what you want, but He'll give you exactly what you need if you ask Him for it. Instead of thinking that you know everything, instead of believing that you're the greatest person ever, put all of your ego aside and try to take advice from the ancient wisdom that has been forgotten. Turn off the news on the TV, turn off the politics, and try to reconnect with the wisdom that is embedded within classical art and literature, which emphasizes the timeless lessons that can guide us in our modern, technologically advanced, yet spiritually detached world. By embracing these lessons, we can strive to achieve a harmonious balance that honors the greatness of the past while navigating the complexities of the present and the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been RayRayNet signing off from Farlook Studios. I hope you guys have a happy holidays, and I hope you guys have a happy new year. God loves you. God bless you. Amen.